I'm not going to lie to you, ladies and gentlemen. Not only does this feel good for everyone, it especially feels good that Syracuse beat this particular team. See, if it was against any other team that Syracuse upset, we'd obviously be very happy. Like, beggars can't be choosers here. Syracuse needs to win some big games. So whether it was going to be a Houston, a Kansas, an Iowa State, a Tennessee, fine, whatever. Tennessee, I love it. This is the program for the past couple of seasons that has kicked our you-know-whats. And it's not just men's basketball. As we learned early on in August for football season, it feels extra special beating Tennessee. Finally. Now, of course, if you are a Tennessee fan who's checking out this podcast, you probably maybe know me by now, given that Syracuse and Tennessee have played each other a number of times over the past couple of years. Look, you're a great program. You're going to be fine. They're going to go to the NCAA tournament, and they're probably going to have a chance at winning the national championship. I still respect Tennessee, of course. It just feels good. It really does. Syracuse basketball with a 62-60 victory. Comment your thoughts in the comment section below. How did we get here? How did this upset happen? Well, it was not the prettiest of games. And that is from both teams. And the stat sheet would tell you it was not the prettiest of games. Tennessee had 17 turnovers in this one. That's great. Good job by the Syracuse defense. How about the Syracuse offense? 16 turnovers. Not much better. Tennessee went 53% from the free throw line, 8 of 15 overall. Syracuse at the free throw line went 13 of 22. That was 59%. So the team that came into the day with the worst free throw percentage in Division I college basketball didn't exactly help their free throw percentage. But you know what? Tennessee was worse at the free throw line. So we take it and we run. That's what we do. Okay. We again, beggars can't be choosers here. This was not a pretty game, but Syracuse basketball made enough plays to win this game. In the first half, the Orange were, in my opinion, very discombobulated, but one of the themes that kept up throughout the game was that they were ferocious on the defensive end. And that, in my opinion, is what kept Syracuse in this game, because I feel like Tennessee is more talented, at least on paper. I mean, there's a reason why they're ranked top 15 in the country, you would think. And on offense, it was the Nate Kingz show in the first half. He had 19 points. He was phenomenal. He was hitting threes. He was going to the rim. He was hitting his free throws. Nate Kingz was Syracuse's offense in the first half. And this was, I think, the first moment where I felt, something maybe a little bit different here. Maybe there's an upset kind of brewing here in the JMA Wireless Dome. It was 30-30. There was a few seconds left in the first half. Adrian Autry calls timeout. And I don't know what play Adrian Autry drew up in the huddle. It was not what ended up happening, where you got multiple guys that are just chucking up threes, ill-advised shots, but Tyler Betsey is standing underneath the rim. He catches a rebound off an air ball, and nobody is there to cover him, and he ends up hitting a layup at the buzzer to give Syracuse a 32-30 lead. That right there kind of let me know that, the bounces seem to be going Syracuse's way, because in any other game, in any other Syracuse game that we watch, it's usually the other team doing that to us, or Tyler Betsey in that scenario would miss that layup, and so you go to the half tied at 30 instead of leading by 2. And then in the second half, all that goodwill that we had about Syracuse, hey, good first half by Syracuse, they're in the game. Well, it goes away within a second. If you were watching it on TV, you didn't even see the turnover, because Syracuse turned the ball over within 1 second when the second half started. I didn't understand. Then Gillespie ties it with the layup at 32. And this was the second moment coming up right here where I felt that something maybe was a little bit different in this game. You got JJ Starling driving down the right alley. It's at the end of the shot clock. He's behind the backboard. He just throws up a shot because he have to at the end of the clock, and it drops in. And so it gives Syracuse a 34-32 lead. And I know that there's an entire half of basketball to go. But again, it's those subtle moments where it starts to make you think this is getting a little bit interesting. Syracuse is starting to get some breaks going their way. That was a bad offensive possession. It was an ill-advised shot taken by JJ Starling, but he had to take it given where they were at in the shot clock, and it went in. You catch a break. There you go. Then Syracuse, they start building up momentum. William Kyle, we'll get to him in just a moment on the offensive end, but he was ferocious on defense. He had multiple blocks at the rim. He was what I think really started Syracuse's run after that JJ Starling floater, because the Orange at that point, they proceed to take a 50-41 lead. When Syracuse goes on the fast break, you have Nathan George in transition. He hits Tyan Anthony in the left corner for a three-pointer. But look, Tennessee is Tennessee, and Syracuse had opportunities to keep a little bit of separation from Tennessee, but Tyler Betsey misses an open three from the corner. Nathan George has a layup that goes in and out. Tennessee goes on a 10-0 run. You knew Tennessee was going to fight back. It wasn't like Syracuse was going to win on their home floor by 20, although that would have been pretty nice. But, I'll take a win, even if it's a close win, because this is a big-time victory for Syracuse. The moment I felt maybe things could be slipping away, Sadiq White, I think it was before the under 4 timeout, he has a hook shot, and it just rims out. And Syracuse at this point was up by 2. And then Tennessee on the other end of the floor, their star freshman, Nate Kingz, he hits that left corner 3 to put Tennessee up 56-55. And I felt in that moment, maybe that was it. Maybe Tennessee was going to go on a run at the end, but not so fast. JJ Starling, he was incredibly clutch down the stretch with Syracuse down 1 with a couple minutes to go. He hits a big right wing 3-pointer. Tennessee just gave him a little bit too much space, and he knocked it down. And then on the next offensive possession, JJ Starling pulls up from the right elbow, drills it, gives Syracuse a 60-56 lead. There were a couple of questionable fouls committed by Syracuse after that. And at the end of the day, the game is tied at 60. There's less than 32 seconds remaining. Adrian Autry, he calls timeout, draws up a play. JJ Starling hits William Kyle with about 14 seconds left, and William Kyle gets fouled. He gets fouled in the act of shooting. So William Kyle, with the game tied at 60, goes to the free throw line with 2 attempts to give Syracuse the lead. And look, I know William Kyle's not a great free throw shooter. I think we all know that by now. We all have seen his form by now. It's just not very good. Can you make them when they count? And in that moment, genuinely, I was just hoping for 1 for 2. Just go 1 for 2, give the team the lead, and give the defense, which had been playing great the entire game, a chance at one final stop. That's all. That's all we're asking for, at least all I was asking for. If you felt differently, if you wanted him to make both, if you were expecting him to make both, I guess, comment in the comment section below. Just make 1. Give us the lead. And I felt that the first free throw was going to be crucial because it felt like, okay, if he misses the first, he probably will miss the second because the second becomes a lot more pressure. He missed the first free throw. If you are able to, obviously, if you are driving right now, please don't do this. But if you are able to, raise your hand if you felt that William Kyle was going to hit the second free throw to give Syracuse the lead. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay. If you are raising your hand, you're lying. There is no way you felt that William Kyle, if you are a Syracuse fan, you thought he was going to make that second free throw after you missed the first one. You probably thought this game was going to be tied at 60 and Syracuse would need to stop just to force overtime. But to William Kyle's credit, he made it when it counted. And so Syracuse 61-60. Tennessee calls timeout. William Kyle, with great defense in the end, disrupts the shot from Carey, who was killing Syracuse all game long. And the Orange walk away with a 62-60 win.